From Florida, Ms. Adams is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, we meet again, and I'm going to ask you some very similar questions as the last time we spoke. I know in December you responded to my request on how many people had been deported under Section 243D, and I believe that your letter said that that's a last step in getting countries to repatriate and to be used only after diplomatic efforts have failed. You also conceded that the administration has yet to invoke visa sanctions. That was December. Now we're here in July. Have they invoked any? Have you recommended any to the Department of State?
Well, again, I think
just a yes or no. I mean, I've sat here all day and I've listened to the filibustering. I think yes or no. Have you recommended any to the Department of State?
Again, the information as to which countries are not working with us
I'll
is
take that as
something
a
that
no.
we
We'll move on because I've got a lot of
move to the State
questions.
Department, and it's for them
Secretary,
to make the
with all due
diplomatic
respect,
decision.
I want to get answers to my questions, not answers you want to give me. So a simple yes or no is what I was asking you. If you want to go into further detail, I would love to have you respond in a letter to go further into it. But a yes or no is perfectly satisfactory on a question is, have you or have you not submitted any persons to this Department of State under 243D?
I will get back to you in writing.
Thank you. Now, is it true that Agent Terry was shooting a beanbag gun the night he was killed?
I will get back to you in writing.
Okay, we're going to go that route. That's awful too, but that's fine. Is it true, do you have policies and procedures for your law enforcement officers on how to respond to active shooters?
I'll get back to you in writing.
So you're planning not to answer any of my questions the rest of this afternoon?
If you want to limit me to yes or no, don't let me explain. I will have to explain in writing.
Well, let me ask you
I
this.
think that
Let's
this
just have regular
proceeding-
order, just
Yes.
regular
Could
order.
we have regular order, please?
Thank you. I'm in possession of what is called how to respond to an active shooter. How to respond. An active shooter is an individual actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area, typically through the use of firearms. I sent a letter once I had heard about this because it was reported all over the news. Fox reported that DHS officials maintained that the active shooter course was designed for all employees, civilian and law enforcement officers, and no one should rush into a situation where they or others around them could get hurt. Here is something from some of the Border Patrol agents. All immigration law enforcement officers has been required to watch the video. And when I asked, you said they're not designed to mandate law enforcement actions. However, they are your training. Are they not your training materials?
They are training materials for civilians. Law enforcement observe them for situational awareness. Our use of force policies are consistent with all of Federal law enforcement. They are in writing, and we will supply them to you.
Thank you very much, because the letter I received just said they're not mandated. And I have real concerns when we have a Border Patrol agent who may or may not have been shooting a beanbag up against a very high-powered weapon. We have this who says that you're only to shoot back when your life is threatened. And as a law enforcement officer who was sworn to protect my community, if I was out and about, even off duty, and someone were to start shooting in a populated area, or non-populated, but threaten someone's life, not my own, but threatening other people's lives, I was required to act to stop the aggression and save those lives. So I just wanted to make sure that this is not something that you are telling your armed law enforcement officers to do, to run away and hide.
They were told about it and went to the training, so they were situationally aware. But the use of force policy is that which is consistent across Federal law enforcement.
Well, again, maybe you need to get your public officer, public information officer, that information, because they were quoted as saying it was for all law enforcement and civilian employees. It was a policy.
For different purposes.
I also look forward to getting your information back on 243D and how many times you have recommended someone be deported under that. As you know, these are violent criminals who have served time, and then, because they're country refuses to take them back. They're released into our communities to create and commit more violent crimes. You know, I'm very concerned that we have an option, and it has yet to be employed, when we have people being murdered by the very people that had threatened them, done time in jail, and because their country wouldn't take them back, were released into the community to kill their victim. And my time has expired. I will yield back.
Gentlelady's time is